Welcome, everyone, to the Extraordinary Gentleman podcast. Now, we're at an impasse just because of previous recordings have become muddled with confusion because we are very bad at said recording. Microphones are hard, okay?
They are hard.
They are very hard.
Trial and error.
And multi-track recording is something foreign to us, so...
This will be a first.
This will be a first.
Or a second.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
What is multi-track?
So, you know how we have 4 mics going
Yes.
into the...
Oh,
So now
I get
the
it.
SD... Okay, you got it.
I get it.
4 separate sound, files.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to this episode. There may or may not have been a Scotch episode previous to this that was fraught with mic issues and...
But amazing times were had.
I know, but it's funny hearing him say it.
So we're going to start this one off right with... we're going to go through bourbon. This will probably be a multi-part episode because we have quite a selection of bourbons in front of us with another vast amount of quantity in the other room. So
Arguably too many.
Arguably. Some would argue.
Who
would argue?
Yeah, I was going to say, who
I
would argue
refute
it?
that argument.
Yes.
I would say
So
it's
what do
not
we-
too many.
Do we
Let's
just
just
start?
jump into it.
Well,
Okay.
I think what's their goal with this?
Our goal? Or the audience's goal in listening
No,
to this?
Nick,
Not the goal. Well, I guess we should introduce... Well, since our guest started speaking, we have our guest here, Nick,
Hi.
who is actually related to me.
To one of me.
I was gonna say one of us, but
I
one
liked
of
it when
me.
you're going to keep it ominous. It was more
I like
interesting
one of
that
me.
way.
so Nick's
Well,
joining
spoiled
us.
that.
Yeah.
Spoiled that surprise.
Nick hasn't really had a lot of exposure to whiskey or bourbon in general, so I think we're gonna kind of run him through the gauntlet.
I'm like a baby.
Baby.
A drunk baby.
Oh, that's what we should call it. Bourbon for Babies. That's the name of this episode.
That's the name of this episode. It's
Yep.
Bourbon
And then
for
we'll
Babies.
be instantly hit with a
I
bunch
do have
of
some
strikes and
Pedialyte
claims.
for recovery,
Has
so...
Now when this is posted to YouTube, is this for children? I mean,
Yeah.
well, the title
It is
says
about
babies.
it is for babies.
I think this goes on the 4Kids app.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's like the Pewdie. We'll make it an own intro, like the PewDiePie's intros right now for
Yeah.
the kids. Yeah.
The only sucky thing is that I can't watch this in the mini player if you can put it on the kids app. They don't allow that.
Sure.
I'm not familiar with that.
You know what the mini player is?
No, not at
It's
all.
when you drag the screen to the corner and it's small.
Mini.
You can't do that for kids.
Nope.
What?
Kids can't do that.
Why?
It's too much stimulus for their tiny childlike brains.
I guess it makes sense.
Yep.
Kids are dumb.
So, anyways, we're gonna we got a good amount of whiskeys to get through. We're gonna keep it tasting short and not professional like always. I think we're gonna try to get some pricing on it and see if what our preferences are as far as these bourbons. If we would purchase them, sometimes in some cases again, or for the sometimes first ever purchases. So we're gonna kind of start from the lower ABV and go higher as we get through the gauntlet.
Yep.
I
And
say
if-
that we should also...
Well, I almost spilled my Red Bull.
we had a
Dylan
dangerous...
almost just,
You did.
just spilled all over Zach's nice headset.
Oh, it's mine now. Sweet, it's mine.
No, your headset.
Oh, my headset.
I didn't
Oh, yeah.
spill on the headset.
Yeah.
But he spilled on the
XLR
XLR
cable,
cords.
which is fine.
Do you want a paper towel?
No, not really. What's that one? I guess.
Ooh, a napkin.
There you go.
I was going to say we should...
That's a paper
Just
towel.
subjectively, going between the 4 of us here, we should see which one we like the best.
Oh yes.
Sure.
Because last time we didn't really have a...
Well, I think that's good because even though that the mic, the recording was trashed, I think hindsight we have a lot of stuff that we want to do now. Like the pricings, we want to be more proficient about that.
Pricing.
What we would actually purchase.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to end it here at a certain proofing. When we start up part 2, I think we should bring the best or our favorite from this lot and go
Into
to
the next one.
The next one.
I
And then
think I
when we
like that idea.
have the
I like
favorites
that.
from that, we'll do a final 4 or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Nick.
Can I try Basil Hayden's and Pike Street?
Well, Basil Hayden is our first one, so maybe
so
we
yes.
could just jump
Yeah,
right
so
into it.
we're starting at
Like
with
when I
Basil
get what I
Hayden's
want.
10-year at 40% ABV. I'll start pouring.
All right. So, just in case you guys are wondering, if you guys actually want some real commentary, good documentation of what flavors and scents we're
somewhere else.
getting,
Not us.
well, yeah. Well, I was gonna say support our Patreon, and then we can afford sommelier
Make a
classes.
Patreon for us.
We're gonna get a sommelier
Yeah, someone
classes.
please set up our Patreon.
All right.
Yeah.
Cork pop.
Oh, it was quiet. That was a muted one.
So is that like one of the things? Of
I
this
guess I'll
podcast
rate it
to-
like
Cork
it's
pop
like a
work.
3
Cork
or
pop
4
is
out
a-
of 10.
So how do we feel about screw-on caps
For what?
Satan. They are Satan.
for bottles?
Well, it
I
depends.
like screw-on caps.
Yeah.
So this is
Sploosh.
How can these table 4 mics
Yep.
feeding that sound?
Yep.
I will say this: your brother did woodwork on this table, so that's about.
But he did woodwork on it like 3 years ago. It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
and now
get in
it's
there.
been
Still did a little.
it's a new flavor.
Did a little.
Complexities.
The coronavirus has actually killed off any other bacteria on this.
So is this the Basil Hayden that we had on the
Yes,
first whiskey episode?
This is a reoccurring bourbon. Yeah, we had on the episode where we did the 12-year on the small batch. So this is one we have had on air before.
Yeah, so Nick, you start us off. What do you smell?
Give it a
Just
nice-
compare it to something or anything really.
I smell.
Does it trigger any memories?
No, seriously.
Oh yeah, that's honestly.
See, it's funny because he always smelled like bourbon. I'm kidding. My dad was a good father.
He only drank vodka.
Yeah, like a real man.
A real man.
Clear liquor for
Yeah.
men.
You
Memo
smell like
says
potatoes.
He spelled
Potatoes.
Just to compare
So,
to something. Is it
The
flowery?
problem is my vocabulary of description.
Sure. Well,
is
okay.
not very big.
Give us some base. Is it flowery
basic-
/ floral?
yeah.
Is it fruity?
Base it off
Is
of foods or spices or anything. It doesn't have to. You're not going to base
So I'd say,
alcohol
like-
off of other alcohols.
like the char on a steak.
Sure.
Okay, that's a perfect bourbon description.
Yeah.
Brown sugar.
You can call me whatever you want.
This is gonna be a good episode.
I'm going to go on and taste on this one.
Yeah, let's go for the taste.
It's smooth.
That's real light.
That's very very light.
A little caramely.
Yeah. I
Not
was gonna say caramel or
sugary.
buttery.
Brown sugar,
I
maybe.
get a smooth butter, like it lingers on the tongue, but not the mouth.
Very good.
It tastes like I made a sugar cookie
This
in
is
my mouth.
something I would want in a flask if I was
Sure.
going to go snowmobiling.
So flask aside, why snowmobiling for this whiskey?
Just feels right.
feels right. Yeah.
Feels right. I don't know.
You know,
with
when
that,
he when he inevitably crashes and has to make a snow fort, this is what will keep him warm.
I'm going to sanitize
you-
my wounds with this.
Yep.
I'm going to
Not
forget
at
how much I
40%.
hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
not
it's high enough proof to actually do any
Well-
good sanitization. Did you guys hear about that one snowmobiler? He was in the farm country and he didn't see this thin wired fence for the cattle.
Oh,
Went
yeah.
right through it and
Yes.
it absolutely just seared. Or,
Yeah.
what is the word for that?
Decapitated him?
Well, yeah, but I mean like
Like the piano wire.
piano wire
severed.
evisceration of the spinal cord.
So his stuff came out because that's what
Yeah.
evisceration means.
yeah, well, I mean, some stuff
Everything.
came out, I'm sure.
Well, he should have had a flask of Basil Hayden.
He should have a flask.
but it
So you
healed
could
just
say
fine.
that he got clotheslined.
Oh yeah, I
There was
feel like a clothesline wouldn't.
That's close.
Do
line.
that.
I'd call it
Yeah.
close
Nah,
line.
that's called being
clothesline.
Yeah.
clothesline.
Yeah.
Did it slice through his neck?
Yeah, no, he
Like
lost his head.
his
He lost his
spine.
head. Yeah.
You need a
Really?
refund on
Yeah.
that helmet.
So he was like cooking.
Yeah, he was going probably like 60, 70, and then just
You know what?
below
Honestly,
the helmet, above the,
Oh, that's
the
rough.
coat,
Like
just
if you would have
honestly-
caught him right in the helmet, he probably would have been fine.
maybe. Or would have caught the front
no,
and
the
then
helmet
gone
probably
down.
it would have slipped up if it
Yeah.
caught him anything above the
Halfway point.
the mouth guard.
Yeah.
It would have slipped up. But honestly, that's not a bad way to go.
As long as,
you just-
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
gone.
Yeah, as long as it was just
Quick.
like that. just like that.
If your
Any
head's
other way.
gone, as
Yeah.
soon as you sever your spinal cord,
Yeah.
like you're pretty much
Yeah.
So very interesting conversations we were
You know,
having.
I just wanted to mention it because snowmobiling gets me on that.
Well, did you-
that
so
suicidal?
There was
dead-
another guy
death
that
track.
Jason. No last names. Jason knew my boss, Jason. He was putting his snowmobile into a trailer, and he figured, he's gonna ride it in there, and he was just sitting straight up on the seat, and he scalped himself on the top of the trailer.
Oh.
That's rough.
Like clean off.
That makes
had
me-
to go to the hospital. They had to stitch his scalp back on.
I mean, how?
There's a sharp, thin middle edge
Yeah.
on the top of the roof, and it just like opened him up like a can opener.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
Well, that's very interesting.
That's very interesting.
although, anyways, this bourbon is good.
And bourbon's good. Carter, do you find a pricing for the Basil Hayden 10-year?
$30.
No, that's not the 10-year.
$30.
The 10-year.
$30.
That's most definitely not the 10-year.
We need to hire a new research team.
There are a few different ones. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I guess my thought on this is it's good, but
The
going
low
down the
proof
line,
holds
there's-
it back, and it.
well, there's a Jim Beam product. So it's in the same family of Old Granddad, Knob Creek, Booker's, Baker's, Jim Beam itself, obviously. It's kind of an entry level, I would say, to a lot of things. It's got the nicer alcohol content, just the legal minimum, 40%, but it's got the 10-year age statement, so it's it's a lot milder. There's not a lot of spiky notes to it, but I think it lets down because I think the pricing on it is pretty high for what it is and what you're paying for. So that's kind of what.
Carter, you having any luck?
It's not on Total Wine.
All right, well, you can just type in Basil Hayden 10 and it'll probably show up.
Suggested retail price about $60.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay $6 for it. So that's kind of the notes on that. I don't really like it that much.
This was one of my from the first episode. If I can remember correctly, this was my least favorite of the because it went this and then it went the Old Forester
And then it was both the
and then it was the Knob Creeks and then it was the tour or the group tour. What am I trying to say? I was gonna say coup de grace.
If you have this though and you don't have any if you don't have anything else or you don't go to anything else during like the evening, this is the only thing you have. It's a solid whiskey.
Yeah.
But the moment you have something like a Knob Creek small batch,
Yeah.
it just completely blows it out of the water, for sure.
And for only $10 more.
Essentially. So, Nick, what do you think about this?
I think it's good.
He likes it. It's light.
Okay. Would you buy it? Did you hear how much it was?
How much?
$60.
No.
At least.
Okay. I wouldn't buy it again.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, my knowledge is not as much as you guys have more experience. But
You're calling us
Dylan,
alcoholics?
you have given me things which you have told me is cheaper that I've enjoyed as much, if not more.
Okay.
So-
That's a valid point.
Hey, yo, where the water's at?
I got you.
You gotta get me.
Dawson's got you.
Is Dawson better to get out of that position than
sure.
anyone else?
Yes.
I have
sure.
I have to crawl out.
All right. So finish this.
Yeah.
Can you grab us a glass for...
An infinity
code
glass.
Name. Red Hots. Red Hots. Could you grab us a glass?
Can you grab us an infinity glass?
Tumbler. Or some sort of glass that holds liquid.
He doesn't know what a tumbler is.
Or Dawson. All right.
No, his name is Red Hots.
I like red
Remember the
Hots.
cork pop in this one.
Dylan.
All right, I'm going
Oh,
with this.
that's a good. That's a good descriptive.
I know. I'm
sound.
sorry. Okay, we're having the Brickyard
Are you
J
sad?
Carver.
Are you saddened
I
by
don't-
this?
He's
I've
like,
had both J Carver bourbons. And I don't particularly enjoy them that much.
Going for the cork pop.
We're not going to tell you where we live, but J Carver is a distillery close-ish,
Very far.
close-ish to where we live, and it's not bad. It's fine. We've toured their distillery. They do good work, and
Wonderful.
they're cool guys.
I mean, I don't think it's the best thing I've ever had before, but I mean, it's
Yeah. So that they make not just bourbons, but plenty of stuff. But
they make a variety of
they make a
spirits.
variety of spirits, and
rise better.
yeah, they're two bourbons. There's just a regular bourbon. This is the Brickyard bourbon. I forgot what the difference is. Is it just a little higher proof?
I think it's a mash bill that's different.
It's the mash bill.
What is
okay.
the proof on that, Dylan? Since you got it.
83.
So the proof on this is 42%
84
alcohol or 84.
Okay.
This is their Brickyard. So I think this is I'll just read the description. Named after historic Carver County Brickyard along the Minnesota River. Incredibly smooth and sweet and softened wheated bourbon. It's handcrafted in Minnesota from locally sourced grains aged in Minnesota growth. So, I mean, it's
got that grain. I mean, it's distinguishable, the wheatedness.
It's 4 years old. That's all I'm getting from the information on it.
It doesn't have much on the label.
I think they do tell you at the distillery what the grain bill is on it, but
it's not on the bottle itself.
I don't remember.
No.
It's been a little bit.
It was, I mean, of
They
course
have
it's
I like
mostly
the-
corn, but I think it's a higher winter wheat than...
I thought they have a winter. I thought they had a wheated bourbon that was winter wheat.
No,
It was no.
they don't have a wheated bourbon.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
they
what this
do.
is? This is wheated.
This
isn't
is technically wheated. It said it. You said wheated.
The Brickyard one is the wheated one,
Yeah, you read it.
right? But okay.
I'm pretty sure this is the wheated one.
I thought they had another one. I guess, but
No, that
I'm
was
probably
their
wrong.
They
straight.
might.
That was their straight bourbon, which I don't think is wheated.
Okay.
Oh,
So this one smells like, it almost smells kind of fruity or like
Sure.
flowery.
Yeah, that floral. That's a good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to me, it does. It kind of smells like a cornfield. You know, like you're just in a cornfield. It's dusty, and it's got that sweet scent.
I suppose.
Because I mean, it's made of corn, obviously, so it's gonna smell like corn.
Well, are you sure?
it's 4 years old, but it's still it's got a craft taste to it.
Yeah, it's more crafty than it is, like some that you're getting it from a
So you're saying this is a sneaky bourbon?
No,
sneaky, like a snake
no,
in the
it's
grass.
like hang on. Like, what'd you call it? Like, there's a weird.
The spice level or the
No, there's a note I got from this.
It's grapey. It smells like grape. It tastes like grape.
Kind of.
I guess.
It's not grapey. It's not the grapey that I'm
It's
referring to.
I'd say it's peppery.
No,
Is
there's,
it in the middle or at the finish?
it's the middle.
It's the middle.
You wouldn't say this is peppery?
That's not what I'm saying
okay.
that I'm getting.
Gotcha.
So this Brickyard bourbon is $43. Would you guys buy this for $43?
That's my job.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
think I would buy that.
You think?
Yeah.
I was ready too.
I've kind of told Carter this, but I don't think that any of their normal alcohol content spirits are in my liking.
Yep.
I do really like their cast strength ones, but I don't know, something about their lower stuff I just can't
Yep.
appreciate.
What was they had a barrel aged gin.
Gin.
I like
I loved that. I liked it a lot.
I mean, I bought a bottle of it.
Yeah. No?
I'm just not a gin person, I don't
Sure.
think. I'm just not a gin
First
guy.
time I had gin, I went way too hard, and I couldn't stand it because I mixed it with tequila and vodka and everything else. And gin was the one that prevailed in its taste and scent. So every time I had gin after that, I was like, ugh, it made me want to puke. And then I had a bunch of martinis. I'm like, oh, these are good. So
that's for if you don't want to finish it,
don't
Nick.
wanna finish
You
it,
can pour it
dump
in.
out. That's our infinity glass.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a concept, right?
So who has to drink that at the end of this?
Whoever wants to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Once you get to the high proof stuff, it sanitizes it pretty well.
I more meant that that's just going to be like a what is the shot where it's basically all the runoff from the drinks that the bartender has.
New Jersey Turnpike.
It's a New Jersey
That's
Turnpike.
that's a cocktail that's named after.
I thought it was called something else. It was more of like a
I think it's a New Jersey Turnpike.
no.
It's gross, whatever it is.
Where you drink it out at the end of the bar day, where you drink all like the
but it's like the rag and whatever on the.
There's a couple different names for them.
There's a different name that I'm thinking of anyway.
New Jersey Turnpike was one.
So I guess Nick, did you finish on what you thought of this bourbon? Are you going to buy this essentially? Like
I think
$43.
I think I would buy this. But like I'm on whiskey number 2 out of
right? No, that just
20.
so far.
20.
There's 20.
20. So far I would spend the $40. That might change later on if there's another one that's kind of in the same price range.
At the end of this, we'll do like your favorite two.
All right, so to go back to that, I just had to Google real quick what that shot was called. It's got many names, depends on where in the country you are, but these are all the names. Gorilla Fart, Matt Damon, Sweaty Bartender, The Gray Snail, Dirty Cow, Sweaty Biker, or if you're in Philadelphia, a Jersey Turnpike. It's just Jersey.
Jersey Turnpike.
Jersey Turnpike.
It's all gross, whatever
I like.
it is.
What was the first one?
Gorilla Fart.
I like Gorilla Fart.
Yeah.
I like Gorilla Fart too.
I like Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's pretty good.
Gray Snail was pretty cool.
Next one.
Next one,
All right.
classic.
This is boring.
Shut up.
See, you like Scotch more, don't you? Yeah. Told ya. Oh, did you skip a couple?
No.
It's a screw top.
Wow.
No cork
my
pop.
boy, Screw Top.
Screw top. Now, I wasn't saying that the bourbon was boring. I was saying
All
that,
the greats that came before us drank liquor out of a screw top. Mark Wahlberg.
Yep. Mark Wahlberg. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Actually had this last night at home.
All of the NASCAR drivers. I don't know who else. Who else do you think?
Oh my
drinks?
gosh.
It's the
Dick
bottle
Trickle,
shape.
definitely.
Mario Andretti.
Mario Andretti, Screw Top Boy for life.
Oh yeah, Maker's Mark is the perfect thing to just put over like tons of rocks and just make it last forever.
Yep,
so you can keep the buzz going. You know. I'll have something nice first, and then my second drink will just be this over like 3 ice cubes.
My only
Waters
thing
it
with-
down like crazy.
So do you guys know the two ways to spell whiskey?
Yeah.
That's
Spell?
the question.
With an E.
Wait.
No.
Nick,
I'm here
what
to
do you think?
learn.
What ways do you think there are to spell whiskey?
There's obviously whiskey with a WH. Whiskey.
I mean, they have a WH already.
All of
Yeah,
them
that's
have
the
WH.
one. That's the baseline. That's the one I know. The other one, there's a W,
But no H.
but no H.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That's a good. I mean, that is a guess.
Basically, what it means if you have
Is
one
there
that
a Y?
yes, there's a Y. If you don't have, there's an E and without an E, and usually it depends on where you're gonna kind of claim your
Your stance.
Your stance
You're
on
like,
it.
this
There's the
is my,
Scotch,
This is my
there's-
opinion.
Yeah.
This is my base.
There's a Scotch
Whiskey
way to
spelled
do
with
it.
an E.
Yep, Scotch spelled with out an E, and Ireland spells with an E. Those are the two oldest kind
Feuds.
of origins.
I think I
Feuds,
like
yeah.
having the E there.
I think it's style
I think it
points.
adds something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it more formal. Whiskey with a Y is just like I didn't.
It has a Y.
Well, I mean, just a Y.
And that's why there needs to be a WHISKIE. That's what that Minnesota whiskey. That's what's to be called. Whiskey with the IE.
Whiskey.
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 So we're at 45%.
Yeah.
We cracked another 5. What was it? That was a 42 on the J Carver.
J. Carver.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
we
is this
jumped
just
a little bit.
building in
It's
alcohol
building.
content?
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
going all the way from
So you
40.
don't think you have to finish the glass. Just pour it in
I
there.
have finished every single one till
Yep.
this one.
But just don't feel
Don't.
like you have to.
Don't.
Yeah, I suppose I should start pouring.
Especially if you don't
We
like
haven't
it.
hit the good ones yet.
Yeah.
We're going from 40% alcohol to 50%
50%.
alcohol.
Honestly, I'm not as big of a fan as this one.
It's really sweet.
No, this has
Kind of empty.
empty flavor profile. So basic. No complexity
Well,
at all.
so this is a weeded. This is a weeded, and this is kind of actually what one of the whiskeys that actually saved the bourbon industry during the 70s and 80s, when clear spirits were cool. They kind of promoted themselves as a quality brand and demanded a premium for it, and kind of drew some of the attention back to bourbon. So that is one good thing of Maker Mark, and they do make other good stuff. Like I never had the Maker's 46 or the
Maker's
cask
46
strength.
is good.
Is it good?
Maker's
It's good?
46 is good. I've never had cask strength.
Yeah.
They do also have the Maker's Mark Bourbon Private Barrel Select, according to Total Wine.
Oh yeah. What's the price on this one?
So this is $22.
It's the cheapest out of the all.
nothing.
So far,
Yeah.
this is the cheapest.
Yeah,
I think for the price,
I'd rather get some for the price. It's good, but
I mean,
I'd
you can
rather just
also-
buy something else.
So
Yeah.
I recently
you can also get a liter instead of
Oh,
getting
so-
a
yeah, it's such a
750.
cheap-
You can get a liter, and it's only $28.
yeah no
So, I
it's
mean,
it's a
it's-
great cocktail mix.
Yeah.
That's what I primarily went through this bottle with, was cocktail, and then I kind of found something I like better. But But I recently actually had some of the Weller lines, which are also weeded bourbon. This is a weeded bourbon. Weeded bourbon, Nick, means that other than corn, which bourbon legally has to be 51% corn, weeded means that wheat is the next highest grain in the mash bill.
Okay. So what does the wheat do to like
It makes
a
it
flavor
sweet,
profile?
more
Makes it
sugary.
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas rye will bring out spicy and kind of other notes, like licorice is a common note that brings out. And then usually the most common three are like corn, rye, and then you have barley. Usually it's just malted barley, and that starts the fermentation process.
Yeah.
So for the most part, this starts out like a beer recipe. And then the only difference is they distill the beer.
Okay.
And bring it from like 14% to, higher. And then they do another run and it comes off the still at like 160 proof. And then they barrel it at like 120. And then at 60% alcohol. Or then stuff can actually evaporate and get up to 70% alcohol. So it gains in proof.
Okay.
So, yeah. There's a couple different things.
That's
But
interesting.
yeah, so I had Weller 107, and that was pretty good. I have to find a bottle of that. But so, any other impressions on the Maker's Mark?
Almost zero.
Yeah,
This is so bland.
It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's like
Maker's Mark is unfortunately a very boring whiskey.
I like to. What's the Martyrs Make? It's the auto rifle from Destiny 2.
Yeah, it is Martyrs Make.
Yeah. So me and Scott would always call it the Maker's Mark, just because. All right, next we got a classic Buffalo Trace. This is a special one, right? This is a classic Buffalo Trace. Ooh, that was a little hollow, but I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
It's mostly empty.
All right, we got a second guest here, Dawson. You heard him in the background. What's your question?
I think that you guys should. This is a suggestion for the podcast. You guys should add a point system. Whoever the host is, I think it's Dylan, should award points throughout the episode to people. If they
This
do
isn't
something
whose line is it
funny
anyway.
Or smart. It's like whose line is it anyway. I was getting to that.
That's
Okay.
exactly what
It's
I
like
want.
it's like whose line is it anyways.
Yep.
But whoever has the least
But
amount
the
of
points mean nothing.
Has to drink
Has to
the-
drink
has to
it.
drink the infinity glass.
Yes.
At the end of the episode.
Uh-huh.
Gorilla
Why
Fart.
don't you give
Yeah, right.
because you're a neutral party?
Boom.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm going to be biased.
Well, Dawson just doesn't want to be Drew Carey. That's why.
I don't want to be too curious.
Or Aisha Tyler. That's true. We used to make fun of or not make fun of, but we Uncle no last name. Anyway,
Chad, who shall not be named.
right? Chad is like a skinny version of Drew Carey.
He's just a Chad.
Yeah, he's such a Chad.
Total Chad.
Chad.
Total
At least he's
muscles.
not a
No.
Kyle and goes
If I could
punches some
describe this
drywall.
man without telling you too much of his personal details, just think balding and puffy vest.
I really hope we don't get popular.
Right.
So we've got $30 Buffalo
It's all right.
Trace.
It's all right.
Yep.
Chad can take it.
All right, sorry, Carrie.
So what is this?
$30 Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
Is that part of a?
I don't know what this
That's my
That's a classic
gift
right
from
there.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, you owe me. You owe Nick and I.
Yeah, let's
so much. No, kidding.
I don't owe you anything. I wasn't out of school yet.
Let me read this. He gave you $1.
It was my dollar,
Yeah, it's taped to the Caprice right now.
and now whatever.
I don't know what you're complaining about.
Whatever.
Anyways, so
I have an IOU. You got $1. You win.
I don't know. I think
That's your
the
grand
at
gift.
least he hand wrote that.
Yeah, it's personal.
I'm having a hard time getting sense from this. I don't know if I sniffed too hard on the Maker's Mark trying to find something, or
Did you burn out your nose?
I don't think so. I don't
No,
know.
I get some nose off of it.
do?
whoa, this is weird.
Cherry. So this is Buffalo Trace.
I'm having the same problem you are.
Yeah.
It's just kind
You
of
might
like
not- swirl your glass around like you snobbish, and then put your nose into it, and then back off when it starts to burn.
So I'm still not getting a lot of like unique smells.
Do you smell cherry or
No.
sugar or no? Okay. So Buffalo Trace is a distillery that is owned by the Sazerac Company. They're responsible for such brands as Buffalo Trace, obviously, Eagle Rare, Weller. They do make Sazerac. E.H. Taylor. They also own the 1792 distillery. So, but it's a solid bourbon. I like it. This actually wasn't a bottle that they made. they actually kind of were like, hey, how come you guys don't have a brand called Buffalo Trace? Because that was just the name of the distillery. And
Right.
finally came out with it. So this is still 45%. I don't think we stated that, but
And it is $30.
I like this. It's really good.
This is a classic. It hits the note. Like I said in that one episode again, I'm gonna keep calling back to that. I said the Knob Creek hits all the notes for bourbon. This is another one of those. Mm-hmm. Yep. And even newbies can appreciate.
This is better than Maker's Mark.
I would gladly
yeah.
spend $30 on
Yeah.
this.
Oh, it's too, and then you can also spend if you get lucky, you can find a single barrel version of this. I have an MGM single barrel in the other room because this is a blended whiskey of all their barrels that they blend into a flavor profile. But you can find like some really top notch barrel selects from like MGM or just other stuff in general that are even better than this for the same price amount. Yeah,
same amount of money.
amazing.
Yeah, the cherry is very strong in it. Fruit flavors. And it's just high enough proof where you can get that kick in the nose.
Or you swallow it wrong.
or Carter, you can be like Carter and die. All right,
what
we
is
got
that?
Eagle Rare. This is another. It's basically Buffalo Trace. Pretty much the same thing, but a little better.
I like
in
the
my
Eagle.
opinion. Ooh, that's like we're slowly climbing the cork ranks. That was like a 6.
You can climb in my court.
Also,
Yeah.
45%.
Yep. And
Nick gets a point.
this isn't the one you just bought. The
No,
other day, right?
if we want to do that, we could try that. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
We could try it after this. I think we might have to.
Yeah, just because I need to know. Yeah, what is the difference? So we have this is the regular Eagle Rare. This is a blend, right? Yeah, this is a blend. Same as Buffalo Trace. 10 years. Yep. So we know this is aged on average longer than Buffalo Trace. We know they age it lower in the brick house.
Well, not on average, it's 100% because Buffalo Trace is like 6 to 8
Right.
blended.
And but every blend in the Buffalo Trace is a 10, is 6 to 8, and
It's not disclosed, but that's
right.
what the rumor is.
Okay.
So for sure,
So we know it tastes older too. So this is if you age Buffalo Trace for a little longer and a little lower in the brick house, you get this.
So how would you describe something that tastes older? Like
Older?
What defines older?
So I guess you get that it's stronger on the tongue and a little
more
thicker.
What's stronger?
I should say, well, the wood flavor comes
Flavor
through more.
stronger.
The impact of the barrel.
Of the barrel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dylan gets a point for
So you
the
get-
assist.
So what are flavors you would get from the barrel are more pronounced. So things like sherry flavors. If it was a sherry cask prior, things
it
like
tastes like
the
there's
oak.
a sweeter, spikier note.
I haven't even smelled it yet.
It definitely smells sweeter.
Yep.
I mean, this is a great whiskey. Sometimes it's really hard to find depending on where you
Yeah.
are.
They call it Eagle Rare for a reason, I guess.
Do we have a price point on this?
I'm
So this
working on
is
it.
$30.
Usually over.
Really?
I mean, what did you pay? You just bought one the other day. I think
The single barrel select.
yes, but it was still the same.
That was
think they-
37, but that was also a Minnesota thing. I was reading about it right after I purchased it, saying like everywhere else it's $30.
Well, but that's the thing is it's the same thing as like gasoline. Different areas of the United States are going to have different price structure because, one like depending on if you live in like a state that is government controlled as far as alcohol is, like Pennsylvania, then the government's setting all the price points for you.
Yeah. I'm just saying in this case, Minnesota is the outlier.
Right,
for this
but I'm
one.
saying retail stores are allowed to set what they want.
True.
That's
Yeah,
why you
that
get the
is
secondary market so crazy on like
Yeah.
Weller's or something.
Yeah.
So it's about $30 to $40.
Okay.
But no, I like this one.
So if you can find this, buy this instead of the Buffalo Trace. But I guess if I had to do apples to apples, Buffalo Trace is quite similar. Like 80%
even
is
Buffalo
similar.
Trace is hard to find around here.
Right.
I don't know. The Eagle Rare has just it's a nicer,
It's more developed.
more developed, fruitier flavor. I feel like it kind of comes through with kind of like an apple, more. I don't know. I think it's just more or less like, I don't know if it's a thing that I've been noticing today, but just a lot of grape for some reason coming through for me.
Okay. Like skin or the flesh of the grape.
I don't know if it would be more. I think it's more of like the inside of a grape.
The flesh of the grape.
Yeah,
Sure.
just kind of like
Okay.
the The flesh and the juice.
I think I definitely got more of a smell profile off of this one than the Buffalo Trace. Like it had more character to it.
Yeah.
And then even when tasting it, like that extra time in the barrel,
I'm gonna go get that single
more
barrel.
of a
Just something.
But
Just
yeah, it
something
gave
you
it
could
more of
discern
like a
with your
complex
mouth.
flavor profile.
Yep,
Like,
I get that.
So I definitely would buy that one over the Buffalo Trace.
If you could find it. But
If I could find it. Why is it so difficult to find?
Because people go
Just make
crazy.
less of it. Stores buy less of
So
it.
is it a smaller distillery then?
Well, it's,
No,
It's the same distillery.
it's a 10-year-old.
It's the same distillery.
Same distillery.
Oh, okay. Well,
As
yeah. So
Buffalo
they have to
Trace.
age it, so it takes longer to get the product
Right.
out.
Just a different
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
And then, Dylan, as he said, it's that it takes longer to age.
Yeah, so right now he's grabbing, I believe he's grabbing the single barrel version of it, and I am right.
Is
So
this
we're-
what you bought,
This
Zach?
is what I
different-
bought.
different
Yeah. So this is we're gonna just do
21
a literal apples to apples comparison to see what is different about this Eagle Rare. Same 10-year age statement, same mash bill, just single barrel.
It's
Instead of a blend, right?
It's the closest apples to apples we can do.
Yeah,
Supposedly, Eagle Rare it's legally a blend, but supposedly the only reason it's a blend is because they don't purge the storage and transfer devices when they're moving it for bottling.
What do you mean by storage and transfer devices?
Larger containers of the whiskey stored in that isn't the
right.
bottle.
When they remove it from the barrel,
Yeah.
they're going to pour it in the storage tank, right?
Yeah.
Big tank.
And then it's going to get bottled.
Okay. So it's the different
They
because
essentially
they all kind of develop differently over.
you're
different-
familiar with organic versus non-organic, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's-
okay.
that's
so
it.
okay. Yeah.
Essentially, if a non-organic thing touches the organic, it's not organic.
Yeah. So because technically it's from different barrels, but
Yes.
it's the same time period. It's
That makes
it's
it
blended,
not
but it's
single barrel.
technically you could argue that it's the same thing.
You could.
Well-
you could.
Well, it's more of it's 90% this one barrel, but then there's a little bit of
But
leftover
there's
from the
slight
other barrel,
differences due to being in different barrels.
supposedly. But
Okay.
this is a true single barrel, so this is should be a really interesting comparison. And even though
What was the barrel's name?
they do,
Jeffrey?
there are picks that have he has a bourbon that he got that has they'll have a barrel number, a rick house number, what floor it was on.
But I think he was more wondering, did they have a personal attachment to it?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
that some
so
of them-
could I per se call the distillery, ask them to name a barrel for me, and then I could get a single barrel
Well, yes.
bottle of Shaniqua one.
that's a pick. Yeah, that's a pick. You could
Okay.
name the barrel. People, yes, that's a thing.
Well, we bought.
I think I like this
me-
a lot
me and-
better for that.
Me and Dylan, Carter, you were in on this, right? The tequila.
No.
No,
That wasn't
okay.
me.
All right, me and Dylan.
That was you and Dylan and
Alex.
Alex.
Okay, so
The one who was not
we bought a
spoken
small barrel. What was the size? 2 quarts, 3 quarts. It was
Three.
it was 80% of a gallon,
Yeah, it was
75%, 80% of anyway. And we wanted just to barrel age some silver tequila to see how it would come out because we knew that
We want a tequila kick.
Yep, we knew the smaller size of the barrel would artificially age the tequila faster than a traditional distillery. So or a aging process. So we put a bunch in, waited 3 months, correct? Which
That
we
was 6.
I thought we put it in
on
in June or July. We took it out in
Then we
September
brought it out when
for
we went
the
camping.
yeah
Right.
yeah
Yeah, it was
September.
brought out for the cabin trip.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's right. And
the
it
cabin
was so
trip.
dark. So
dark.
anyway,
And it was just so woody, but that was
yeah, so
the only note.
artificially we calculated it should have aged almost just over a year, which would have made it an añejo, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it 2 years, man? Well, I'm already forgetting what the jurisdiction for
It's been a
different
while
types of
since we looked
tequila.
at tequila.
But yes, and we named our new tequila Dante S. Rapido. We named the barrel. We named the product inside the barrel. It was amazing. So yeah, Nick, you can get your own barrel.
Name it whatever you want.
You could name it
You could.
Shaniqua.
I think Nick died.
I think
So
we did.
I'm sorry. The reason I'm laying on the ground is because my back hurts really bad.
Yep.
Backwards.
Do you,
All right. So cork pop on this single barrel Eagle Rare pick.
Dylan, do you have
First-
a price
oh.
on this one?
Did you talk over your own cork pick or pork?
Was it him?
That was me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do it again.
I'll just
Do it
increase it.
again.
I'll just mute him
No,
because it's multi-track.
So yeah.
Do it again.
Well, would you get some?
I don't have to. I can edit it out.
No,
Would
do
you
it
get
again.
some slight crossover from him speaking and your mic picking it up?
It's the same.
Very
It's
similar.
amazing. So this is a fresh open, fresh crack.
Yep.
So keep in
I
mind,
give that a 6 out of 10.
this won't have the same airtime as the other one. But I paid 37.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's
Okay.
correct. So I had this last night. Completely ruined my palate though, because I was eating spicy mac and cheese when I was
mac and cheese,
when I was drinking this.
and nobody can
So-
stop me.
So I have no idea what this actually is supposed to taste like.
Come on, Zach, you know better.
I don't actually.
That's true.
I'm too. What's the word? When you're
You're old enough to know better, but you're just too young to care.
no, when your actions are always like caused by something else.
You're just. I was gonna say you could just keep.
Everything you do is your. It's like you're an addictive personality, right?
So you know
Are
better.
you saying you're a meth addict?
You're intentional.
Yes. Yep. Intention whore.
Whore.
Anyway, I guess words aren't going to work for me right now. My vocab is failing.
This one smells sweet too.
Piney on the nose.
Piney.
Piney.
I'm getting the same smell.
I'm getting more of a maple smell, like
maple?
maple sugar.
Oh yeah,
maple
I would say
syrup.
that. It's like Miss Butterworth. Who they're changing the name to?
That was
No, that was Aunt Jemima.
yeah, it was Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima.
Mrs. Butterworth is here to stay.
And she's fine.
Maybe,
'cause
I don't know.
She's
We love you, Mrs. Butterworth.
Never changed
Yeah,
because
wait,
of
are they going
others.
to change Aunt Jemima to a white lady now? Yeah, isn't that counterproductive?
No, there's not going to be.
They're gonna switch it over to Uncle Jemima. It's gonna be
It's
50
going to be a
proof
third
maple
person
syrup.
pronoun.
Uncle Ben's malt liquor.
It's Uncle Jemima's malt liquor.
So I
It'll
get-
get you drunk.
I get about like a 20% difference, I think, on this.
It's very similar to the last
It's very
yeah.
no, yes, but there is a difference.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Getting this flavor in the back of the tongue. That is.
Distinct difference.
It's just present. It's very light. It's airy. That the other one didn't have.
It's kind of nutty.
Yeah, a little bit of a nut.
Nut.
Nut. And it's geez, hold on. Give me a second. I think I can figure this one out.
No, it's not that salty.
Big fat nut.
No, it's another. I'm thinking of another drink, non-alcoholic. It's like a man. Shoot, what?
What do you think?
It's gonna kill me. I like City. I like this more. I'd say like 20% difference in flavor and quality.
Yeah.
Which is the same amount I thought the Eagle Rare was different than the Buffalo Trace in the first place.
So what do you guys think? As far as the first Buffalo Trace, would you buy it?
I'd buy all
Well,
three.
do we have a
Yes.
price point on this one?
That's
37.
30 to
$37.
35.
I was gonna say it's
On the first one.
So it's about the same
I'd say
price.
it's worth the extra $5.
It's about the same price as the Eagle Rare to begin with.
Although I did like the Eagle Rare.
So which Eagle Rare did you prefer? We just had two. One's a single barrel, one wasn't.
Which one did I just try?
The single barrel Eagle Rare. The one before was the non-single.
Honestly, I think I prefer the
blended,
blend.
the non-single.
I think I prefer the blend.
What makes you say that? Who made you say that?
The man standing behind me with a Glock 10 to my head.
Nick's bringing so much shade to this podcast.
I don't know if I call it shade.
It's edge.
Just pure
Edginess.
sarcasm
Yeah.
and gun jokes.
This is my last resort.
Suffocation. No breathing. Don't give a... yeah. Never mind. All right, that song is too much.
Too much.
But I think the reason I liked the blended better than the single barrel is the blended kind of had more like sweetness,
Okay.
and you could kind of it. For me personally, it felt like I got more diversity of flavors than the single barrel.
Really?
For me personally,
No, that's just as valid as if anyone else said it.
Yeah, especially since none of us have a qualified opinion, I'm afraid. Sorry, what is one pointed at me again?
So this is
Read it off.
Michter's small batch US 1 bourbon,
Okay.
Kentucky straight. We've increased the alcohol content.
Oh my gosh, how much?
by 0.7.
Oh my goodness. I'm already drunk.
Are you trying to get me drunk?
Stacy, you're crazy.
You on crack?
You're such a crackhead. Stop it.
You're such a hoe.
You're such a crackhead.
So we know that this is sourced, but we do not know where they are getting the bourbon from. So they are not
Saskatchewan.
they're not making their own liquor here, but it doesn't matter because if you like it,
It's good.
then it's good.
If it's good, it don't matter.
Exactly. No one can tell you otherwise.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So
That's the first
You
rule.
don't need to know the
If it's
details.
something that you like, no one has the right to tell you that you're stupid.
I have found a wonderful website. Very insightful.
I'm
And
scared.
it has it's called
Hold on,
Anime
we
Waifus.
got a cork pop. Sorry. We got a cork pop time.
It's .gov.
This is the authority of anime.
Anime
The
Waifu
U.S.
Body
government has
Pillows
created
dot
a new
gov.
branch.
Do you think?
It's actually subsidiary of the U.S. Navy.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Dot slime.
Oh.
Slime.
Yeah.
Why dot slime?
You know why.
Carter just outed himself.
He totally. You're a pervert.
That's okay.
Why dot slime?
Hold on, guys. We got a cork pop. We gotta
Like I said.
listen.
Shh.
It was kind of a splash. You contaminated. Oh, dude.
OnlyFacts, which is different than OnlyFans, which I believe Carter knows everything about.
What are
Dot slime.
What are OnlyFans?
OnlyFans dot
you,
slime.
you know, like private Snapchats. You know,
No. How do you
Well,
make a
shoot.
private Snapchat? Like, what's the difference between a private Snapchat and my Snapchat that I have to accept?
you gotta
friend
pay
requests
for
to?
it.
Yeah, you gotta
Gotta
pay,
pay
for
for
it.
Hey.
You pay
The
porn
person.
stars.
Oh.
The cam
Yeah.
girl.
The cam girl. So now think of OnlyFans as the Patreon of that concept.
Well, how much do they charge?
$5.
Depends on how good you are.
Because when I was doing my accounting, I was seeing like this gray section of money that was moving out of my accounts, and I
Yeah.
couldn't understand why.
Yep.
But now suddenly this makes sense.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
who's taking
accounts
money?
payable to OnlyFans.
Payable
and it
to-
wasn't
well,
Ticketmaster.
What I thought were
Dot
my
slime.
friends, and they kept trying to request money from me until I finally like got through to them. That I just wanted to have a wholesome conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow I'm still paying money for it.
I was just trying to buy an industrial fan, and I just kept going to the wrong website.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what do you guys get on the nose? of
Only.
this? This is a different nose.
I get a little bit of caramel and cocoa.
So I will say this website
bit.
that I found does have
What are you on?
notes. It's called Breaking Bourbon.
Oh
Are
yeah.
you Googling what the bourbon tastes like?
No, I was using it for.
What does taste like?
That's a point to Dawson.
I'm using it. I was using it for price because not everything has been on
Total?
Total. Like a lot of this stuff hasn't been on Total. Like half of this hasn't been on Total.
So did you find a pricing on this?
It's $50.
What? It's $50. I spent $50 on this. I don't remember that
So it said.
for the US one.
Maybe not the US one.
I get a little bit of brine.
I think it's
from
like
this.
40.
No, this is the US one.
Okay.
Ocean salt, a little
This is the
bit.
exact same. Oh wait.
It's like
Small batch.
you could also describe pickle juice as briny.
That's what it is. It's pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
I get pickle juice on this.
Yeah.
You don't honestly. Yeah.
Go no taste it. There's pickle juice in it. Why? That's so weird. Yeah.
What? Oh,
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just
Well-
it's an overall brininess, is what I would say. But yeah, I don't get pickles.
No,
There's
I
like
get
the pickle
pickle juice.
cucumber juice.
I get pickle
like,
juice.
Yeah, describe it, Nick.
I
know.
don't get like
Whoa.
I don't get like a heavy like a
Right?
vinegar. I don't get like a vinegar or a dill taste. It's just kind of like it sounds like it has like a heavy
it's a
sodium
acidic.
Like, yeah.
Salty.
I don't like
yeah,
pickles.
salty,
kind of
yeah.
salty.
Yeah. Actually, I don't.
There's pickles.
I kind of like this
There's
one.
pickles.
I love pickles.
No, it's not dilly.
but
No, it is.
No, it's dilly.
No,
It
No,
is.
this tastes like pickles.
This is just as dilly as a dilly bar.
Right.
you guys are
You're stupid. I got you a point, by the way, Zach.
I got what?
You got a point for that.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Dairy
definitely gonna
Queen
wind
for the
up
win.
drinking the infinity glass tonight.
Why?
God. Yeah,
That
why?
from-
I just have a feeling.
Oh, I see.
Oh, let's
The point
dump
system.
You're kinda ahead of Dylan.
if we put our pickle
Yeah.
juice into the infinity glass that he's
cool.
not going to want anymore. And you're right, because I don't want any more.
Yeah, I stopped drinking the whole thing. I realized that I've got too many bourbons to go through. To be
Yeah, just
Yeah,
take
so
a sip.
be
All right.
drinking every single
I
one.
did find this on Total, and it's about $44.
I don't think it's worth it.
I would. I guess if there's other options I choose first, but for the money and the flavor, the taste, yeah, that's a $34 whiskey.
I mean, actually, 43.
So now we're on 43. 40.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's worth 43.
It's
I think
40.
some of the
closer.
other
We got an
$30
alcohol or-
whiskeys were.
Oh,
I
no,
would rather
alcohol
purchase.
We jumped again, guys.
What do we jump?
0.5%?
0.3.
Oh, jeez.
We're at.
Oh, man.
Wait. Yeah. We're at 46% now.
Wow.
Actually, I guess I didn't mind that Michter's.
All right.
Wasn't-
Cork pop.
That's what we just had.
I know.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, that made it actually.
splish.
The splash
Yeah, little
made
splish.
it a lot better.
Splish, splash,
Splish,
candy
splash.
bag.
I like it to sound a little bit wet.
Taking a bath.
Boom, 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 boom. That's almost as bad as my comment.
What was your comment?
My dot slime.
The slime.
How you doing, slime?
Sorry, I like me just being here has totally taken away Dylan's ability to post most of this.
I know. I think we're still in the clear.
Yeah, I don't think there's been too much.
No.
it hasn't been bad.
And just think of how if a lot of I say consumers like it's like we're a business or something.
Well, we haven't sold merch yet.
right. But the
So-
listeners, what if they just love you so much? Right? What if they only watch your cousin Nick?
yet?
Yeah.
Well, I honestly hope that I bring some sort of different demographic to this.
What
Like-
demographic could you possibly bring?
Well, it's not the smart one,
But it's not the dumb one either.
but it's not the dumb one.
It's just
It's
the
probably the good
inexperience.
looking one.
it's a general lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
and interest
I get that.
in something new.
Man, I should have bought
There's
this.
that craft note again.
I should've bought this
that
at
showed up in the
Total
Jake
Wine.
Harbor
Alright,
again.
every
So
time-
Dylan, I have
Yeah.
like one question. What is craft? If you would describe craft, as,
I would just
as a
qualify
series
that
of
as
flavors.
Imagine a craft brewer. Like craft beer.
Yeah, but what is the
is that
flavor
different than
behind the
distillery?
word craft?
I'm associating some sort of flavor with smaller distilleries, and that's the problem. Is I don't know.
So
what
is it like? Would it be like
There's
more
a
woody or
no?
more?
I don't
just-
know. There's a note.
Or is it just unique?
There's a unique note that I find in a lot of craft distilleries.
So by
Like that
craft,
Jake
you're
Harbor.
saying that it kind of
Small,
stands out
new
from,
distilleries.
from the vast quantity of the other bourbons.
Well, craft just means it's more hands on. Like it's not industrialized at that point.
Yeah,
It's
but
not.
I'm
It's
just
new.
I'm just trying to understand what that would translate into as a flavor.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the flavor is.
So I'd say
I think
Well, honestly,
last-
that's a
what's-
fair response.
this is super strong of
It's
of
very-
that smell or that scent that he is describing.
I couldn't pinpoint it when I.
Well, let me finish. I was gonna say the last time I was hit this strong was
Maybe
when
it's-
I had the Rocknar
maybe it's Minnesota rye.
Minnesota,
though.
but I
it's
think
a weeded bourbon.
But there's still is
I
there
know.
rye in it? There might be
yeah.
there might still be rye in it
Well, it's kind of like it's almost got like some sort of cinnamon like.
because maybe it's the
after-
Minnesota. If they all have Minnesota rye, maybe that's that.
But I'd say the
common.
scent is hay. This is what hay smells like.
It's,
if you took,
it's
if you
like
just-
kind of sweet, and
it's
I
really
get like
if
a
you just
cinnamon
stuck your
smell.
nose in a bale of hay, actually it'd be dustier than what this smells like. But that's the scent.
I agree with you that there's like a base layer of like hay,
Yep.
straw, like kind of farmy.
Or
but-
another adage, another comparison is if you're at a corn maze, usually in corn mazes they have a corn pit. If you jump into the corn pit, this is like 3 times that.
I've never been in a corn.
You haven't been in the corn pit? Oh, that's
So I
the
don't-
best
I don't know
slash
what
the
that's
worst
like.
corn
part.
pit. It's I can't remember.
Do you
what it's
take your
called.
pants off in the corn pit?
Yes.
You can.
It's
Well,
it's
okay,
frowned
I might
upon,
go.
but
Yeah.
yes, you can.
Because no one can see you under there.
Well, what if they see you before you go in the corn?
Oh, you don't take. Oh, yeah, that'd be bad. You can take your pants off when you're in the corn.
Well,
just
then how
kinda
am I supposed to
jiggle it
find my
around.
shorts again?
That's a good question.
Tie them to your ankle.
What if
Boom.
I just tape
There's a
my junk to
barrel?
my leg?
From that distillery.
For 100, I don't know. Well, I guess it's a new one, isn't it?
No.
Oh,
used?
I hate this.
You try it finally?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet.
No.
Let's just let's get a genuine reaction here.
get it- yeah.
Going in for nothing.
Just forget about it.
Yeah,
and
just
then,
be-
and then drink it.
I don't know. I'm looking at the Staying Alive vinyl album. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just like going in.
Got Weird Al.
Very salty.
Salt.
Super salty.
Okay.
Salt, yeah,
I don't
know.
get that, but to
I
each
get
their own.
like
I don't think I would buy this.
What's the price?
This was.
Is it more than $20?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
I was
much
double
is it?
that.
40
bucks?
It's 45.
$40.
that's not worth $40.
See, the question is it twice as good as Makers?
no.
No.
Well,
I mean,
honestly,
I
like
couldn't
Makers
even
is a bad
classify them.
baseline for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
didn't
I-
like it that much to begin with.
I bought this.
It's better.
as just like. Oh,
It doesn't even
it's-
taste like a weeded bourbon.
It's from Minnesota.
no, I don't get the
Because
wheat.
it doesn't have any sort of sweetness.
No, there's sweetness.
Yeah,
there's
it's a little
definitely
sweet. What
Like, when I-
really turned me off was actually now that it's lingering in my mouth, I like it a little bit more. But when I drank it, the initial flavor is just spice. Hits you.
That's
right
why
away.
it's surprising me.
Okay,
as
so
weeded.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
so
what
there's
I
no
call.
rye
yeah.
in this.
So when I
Not at all.
Really?
when I
From
say
what-
salt, you know when you like just take like you're hitting a salt lick or you have
No.
like a bunch of like sea salt in your
No.
mouth and it like kind of burns.
No.
Dude.
So well, you say no, but what I'm trying to say is that,
That
I think
burning
that's what
feeling.
No, I'm just saying I've never experienced that.
Okay.
You never licked a
Well, I'm
salt
trying
lick
to say
before?
like I don't.
Come on, Dylan.
Like if you never had like a lot, like something
No.
super super salty in your mouth.
No. Like, well. No, Carter's never been in my mouth before.
No.
Someone else?
Not to my knowledge. I can no longer confirm nor deny the existence.
Yep. Now, can I ask? Are you missing your two lower ribs by chance?
Did you wake up with your pants on backwards? All right. Anyway, what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is like when you say spice, like I think that's what I'm trying to say salty because I don't have much background in this,
Sure.
so I don't recognize what the spice flavor would be.
So you're mistaking.
I'm mistaking like heavy salt with a spice. I think.
Okay.
Oh yay! I'm excited for this one.
I guess when you put too much salt on a food and then you take a bite of the food and then it like the roof in your mouth and your tongue
kinda
just
burns.
explodes
Yeah.
with that
That's what I
hurting
mean.
it's like stings.
Yeah.
This one doesn't. It stings a little, but that one,
But that's I'm
It
not
just-
I'm not saying that this is an overwhelming flavor.
yeah.
I guess that's just in my brain. That's what I go to because I don't have much else to reference this to.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy this again.
No.
I unfortunately,
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's like some other, and also
there is other
we
stuff.
said this last time too. But as you keep drinking more and more of these different tasting liquors, each subsequent one is not going to have the 100% flavor profile
Right.
what it's supposed to be.
Right.
We're also
we're
not
pretty close.
washing
We're
out.
cleansing our mouths with some water.
My
after
dinner's
a
usually
couple.
only ever saltine crackers or white bread, and then I go right into the bourbon.
Yeah.
It leaves the palate as best as possible.
Yep. Yep. When you want to enjoy the flavor.
Yeah, I want the flavor.
And then I can see that there's a couple of bourbons we're going into that I
I'm
think
excited.
are perfect.
We're hitting the butter zone.
With
Our
a good
stride
zone,
is coming in.
but I'd say that these are the ones, probably not the ones you're thinking of, but some of them are ones that I would just love to drink with something completely different, right? Snacks that overpower and ruin my taste buds.
Pairing, you mean?
Yeah, the pairing. I would pair these bourbons with cheesy, savory, just overwhelming snacks,
It's like a burger.
and foods, or a burger. It would ruin the flavor of the bourbon, but I would want that flavor, that pairing.
Do you want that flavor as a refuge or to compliment?
As a refuge? Like
Yeah.
it's saving me?
Like you didn't like it, so you just want to dive into the burger and then come back to the burger.
Oh no! I think the bourbon, the whiskey tastes better with something else muddling its true flavor.
So does that mean it's not a good bourbon?
Not necessarily.
No.
I think it tastes better with more things added to it. Mm-hmm. Like popcorn. Popcorn's fine by itself. You could eat popcorn and be like, yeah, whatever. You never had just nothing? Popcorn, nothing on it? Really?
Boring.
It's boring.
Oh yeah, nobody
But-
eats popcorn with nothing.
No,
I do.
usually at least have butter.
Oh,
too.
no. I eat it with nothing on it.
I'm not at that point where I don't have
Not
butter
a monster.
also.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It doesn't taste bad. It just, it's whatever.
neutral.
It's just dry.
Neutral. It's
Yeah.
dry.
Okay.
But then everything you add something different, it makes it taste better, right? Now you just elevate that with your whiskey. It already starts good, gets even better when you, quote unquote, ruin it with something. You pair it with a snack that destroys your mouth.
All right,
What is that?
so-
That thing looks like a bomb.
Oh,
What is that?
So,
Because it is.
I'm excited for this.
I actually store my whiskey in this. No,
This is my whiskey bong.
I can't afford scotch, so it brings on a good flip. No, I can't. So this is Willet, Willet's Bourbon. We had the rye, I think, on the podcast a while ago. I think when we were doing our Reddit episode or something. So this is this bottle is supposed to look like one of their pot stills. So that's kind of what the shape is. The still. Yeah. They actually have a 1.75 liter of it that's bigger, and people
Comes
make
in a pot still.
yes, it comes in. You get a pot.
So in essence, you're not wrong. It is a bong. And the
same
science of the bong. You
It's
just
the
hear
same
it.
Yeah, you
principle.
want all the good stuff?
Yeah.
We're going to the
So
top.
this is $40.
$40.
All right,
and-
here's that pop.
I think
Again.
you're getting too much splash.
Yeah.
I still think that was okay because it does. 2 splashes elevates the sound. 3 splashes degrades it.
It sounds interesting while it pours.
Yeah.
And exactly like
It's not even humor.
Yeah, to Zach. Not you.
So if you remember the point system, Dawson's still taking points. And
not for some
sometimes
reason-
we glance at the piece of paper and it changes our emotions. Okay.
I have to say, I'm not just giving points to humor. I'm giving
Yeah.
points to for humor, continuing the podcast from people derailing it, knowledgeable facts and smart comments.
Well, I wish I would have known that. I've been intentionally trying to derail this thing for
The
a
whole
long
Oh
time.
no, that adds to it. That
Well,
gets you
that's
points
the humor.
too.
Yeah.
so you could
You're getting points for assisting other people's jokes and
I forgot-
elevating it.
I forgot to add that we did jump.
I don't want to look
Proof.
We did jump in alcohol content, so we are now at 47%.
We're getting
We
there.
jumped 1%.
We're getting there, guys. Have you noticed how most of these have been getting better as you get higher proof?
What was the entry on this one? It was like $45.
for
$40.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's double.
So this one, it kind of smells like every single one that we've had so far. But
Why are you have the infinity glass? Put that down. No, don't. You're gonna put the COVID in.
No, put it. No, don't drink it from there. Drink it in
Yeah,
the.
don't-
Yeah, you
don't,
pour it
that's
in
not-
the glass, in your own glass,
No.
and then you drink it.
it doesn't taste good.
Well, because we haven't finished it yet.
Because we got to make it better.
I don't want any notes off of that yet. Anyways, going back to the actual bourbon.
I don't want any.
You get no points for that.
What? You get negative points.
Negative
See, that's
2.
why I
Oh,
don't
you
wanna
erase
see it.
Sharpie.
Yeah.
You don't.
That's why I don't want to
Get a silver Sharpie.
Stop
Boom.
showing me.
White
I
Sharpie.
don't know where to do it.
White out.
Go back there.
Actually, I knew this is a quick story. Someone I know.
I like this.
They worked retail.
You try
and-
this yet?
Yeah, I did. I enjoy it. I'm still trying to pick the flavors. Someone I know works retail, and a lot of the job was about customer reviews, right? So she was a cashier, and so she would get reviews based on her performance.
This is your
as a
Canadian
cashier.
girlfriend?
Yeah, this is my Canadian girlfriend.
She's just so busy modeling.
Yeah.
What
So
does
basically
Canada
model.
view Aunt Jemima's
Anyway,
Canada's ignoring
hey, I was saying
everything.
is so what happened.
Canadian
is
sales on maple
occasionally,
syrup increased tenfold?
occasionally she'd have a bad day and she would be a little snarky, and so she'd get a bad customer review. So at the end of the day, or maybe it's the day after, you're supposed to hand in, like, you get the customer reviews and then you hand them in.
So they
How does Zach
personally
have so
deliver
many
them
points,
to you.
Dawson?
So
So they personally deliver the review to you.
right to
Is
the
that,
box,
is that verbally or written?
written. And so what she would do?
So
What?
they take the time to write out the review, give it to their boss because they're that.
No.
angry.
The the employee doesn't write them out. The customer writes them out.
Gives them to the boss of the employee.
No, gives them to the employee.
Oh, that's dirty.
It's sorry, I should say it's not given to. It's given to HR. That HR sorts them based on who is it for. Then it goes to the employee. Employee hands them to the boss for a review, right? Whenever they're asked to do the review. So what she would do is when it was a bad review, she'd use whiteout and erase all the bad things the customer said, and then make her own, score.
Isn't it
better.
obvious though?
So, yeah.
It's super obvious. So she was fired. She lost the job.
So curious who this was.
Yeah, I'm curious.
So I don't want to ask who it was.
We'll have to add.
Where did she work? Can I ask that?
It was a grocery store. I don't know what grocery
We'll have
store.
to find.
What kind of grocery store has
Right.
written performance reviews?
Not
from
Walmart.
consumers.
Well, maybe Walmart.
It was
Something.
probably
maybe
Lunds and
Walmart.
Byerly's.
Right.
That's my
Yeah.
guess.
Kowalski's,
Something fancy,
but isn't
Trader
really.
Joe's.
something in Eden Prairie,
Yeah. Trader Joe's gives me a weird vibe, man. Walking into Trader Joe's, I don't know if it's
never been
uppity
into
or
a
the
Trader
opposite of
Do you
that.
realize that Trader Joe's right now?
I brought up
They-
Trader Joe's.
at-
How come
at-
I don't get a point?
So at,
You didn't say it had a weird feel.
I've never been in Trader Joe's.
Dawson and I are just we just emulate
at
each other.
7 a.m. There is a line of 50 people
Yep.
outside the Trader Joe's.
Well,
Yeah.
you
so
know
people
they
get up in the morning.
Yeah.
They're like, I need to shop at Trader Joe's. Enough at 7 a.m. that there's 50 people
No.
lined up around the block,
Yeah.
and that only increases throughout the day.
Yeah, well, you
and
do
it
know-
stays consistent that there's a line.
Yeah. Well, Trader Joe's has their own products of certain things.
Well, yes.
Yeah, and they're
so you have to go there to get
to
your
get
thing
that
you
one
want.
exactly.
Yes.
So you know why they have those lines.
All
But
right.
I mean, that's
All right,
insane.
wait.
It is.
Reviews on this bourbon.
All right, dude,
What is
hold
this?
on.
So we're like halfway through.
So what is this one?
This is the Willet, the one that you said looked like a bong.
Wonderful.
Would you buy?
40? Oh yeah, any day.
I just like the bottle.
I like it.
It's got
The big one's $70 dollars.
It's 80.
That's 80.
It's
That total
double.
wine is 70-ish.
I was on Total Wine.
Yeah, you weren't looking right.
Yes, I was looking right.
they
It
changed
said-
their prices. They do change their
It said
prices.
$79.99.
They changed their anyway.
Dylan's
I get-
got a special deal where he
Yeah, I got.
he
yeah.
kind of he gives
Dylan
a little
spent
kiss,
money
a
on-
little bodily contact to
Dylan
one of the guys
smooth
there, and
talked
he
the
gets,
man.
he
I
gets
can't-
No, I
turned
can't
up.
do that anymore because COVID. No body contact.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why you both get in a tie back.
Yep, and his Dylan's mustache is
What?
the lady killer, and when he wears a mask, it hides the mustache. So,
Dylan slightly just kind of like nudges. Just kind
yeah.
of like.
It's just like plastic on plastic, heavy friction. It's
There's a lot of rustling.
It's
Yeah.
gross.
So
Next one.
Yeah, so just to while he's pouring the next one, the Willet, it's got this nice, a little spicy, peppery right at the beginning for just a little bit. It's not harsh at all, and then it fades into like a butterscotch middle towards the end, and it finishes with this. One of my favorite aspects of bourbon that I don't see with scotches. Sometimes I do see them as scotches, but mostly not. Is that good bourbons always lead into the next sip. Like a good bourbon will always leave you wanting more of the same. It's satisfying and you want more. A good scotch is just satisfying. The best scotch you could have is one that you can taste in one sip and call it a day, because it's delightful. Obviously, nothing's going to stop you from having more, but bourbon has this. It's in the flavor profile to make you drink the next sip, and I like that. That's how I identify. Like, this is a bourbon that I want.
Sounds
I
good
would
to
like
me.
to drink. Yeah. So it's
Speaking of the next
so
step,
the Willet had it. So what's the next one?
I don't get it.
so this is Elijah Craig, a small batch, 94 proof, same alcohol content, 47%. So here's a cork pop.
I can't find a definitive price on this.
Look up. I think Sam's Club has this. Honestly, look up Sam's Club. Yeah.
So Elijah Craig, I think in the last couple of years they got rid of their age statement. These were 12-year age statement, small batches. Mm-hmm. But then they started mixing younger stuff in there, getting rid of it just to keep a supply. But this is one of my favorite cheap whiskeys. Mm-hmm. It's a great one.
We buy. So these small batches specifically were on sale at Sam's Club. So my father and I bought, I think, 6 or 7 of these. We've drank.
He's drank the E.H. Taylor before? Okay.
He doesn't have the E.H. Taylor.
Oh, sorry,
This
the
is
Elijah
Elijah
Craig.
Craig
So
small
I'm
batch.
jumping ahead.
Yep, that's okay. No, these are on sale. We bought 6 or 7 of these. We probably drank 4 of them.
I
in
think this
total.
is like 26, 28.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, they were on sale for 23, but just a small
Okay.
price. It was like 10% off, but
Yeah, I mean, I like this. This is a solid one. I'll definitely replace this bottle when it leaves us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's a solid one. We got the barrel proof. I got a couple of barrel proofs of this. We'll have on the next episode. Not the next episode, but part 2. So it's a very solid and I think a staple in every collector's collection.
yeah, everyone needs. Oh, and the collectors, I guess, yeah. I was gonna say, everyone needs to
You gotta
have.
this is a daily drinker. It's a daily
It
drinker.
is, yeah. I was just,
What are you
everyone
gonna
needs
do?
to have this and just the standard Knob Creek on their shelf.
According to this, it's $26.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
26.
it's dirt.
This is
It's amazing.
quite the bang for your buck.
All right, we're going. Crap, next step back. What is taking him so long?
We can keep talking about Elijah Craig is owned. I keep
Heaven
forgetting.
Hill.
Heaven Hill. Okay.
Heaven Hill Distillery.
So, quick story while Nick sits down is my father and I bought some
Don't eat during this.
Henry McKenna, which is also in our part 2 of this episode. And it is very delicious. Also by Heaven Hill, and that had just such excellent marks of caramel, excellent marks of butterscotch, a smoothness, and that same finish that I was just talking about, where it leaves you longing for more. And this Elijah Craig is similar in that sense. I think this is just delightful, and I want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
All right, Nick is back, so we can go to the next one.
I like this one.
He had the sip.
Next one.
I like this one. I like that. I like that you like this one.
It's
And
spicy.
I appreciate that you like that I like that one.
It's spicy. I like
I appreciate that you appreciate that I appreciate that you like that I like
and
this
I
one.
acknowledge and respect your
No.
appreciation for my appreciation of your liking of my liking.
You know, and I acknowledge and I appreciate your decision to like what I like.
Wow.
Okay. So that's something else entirely. Never before. All right, so guys, we're jumping. This is a jump. Not in volume.
This isn't just a tippy toe step.
but in price, as Carter will
This
probably
isn't
find out.
turn the volume up by 1. This is Grandpa sitting on the remote, changing the volume from 50 to 100.
No, the alcohol content is the same.
What is this?
Oh, never mind then.
Callums?
This is Calumet Farm 12-year age statement. Nick's doing gestures.
Jeez.
Okay.
This is almost a hazard. Oh, wow.
That's hot.
That was really good.
Ooh,
That's
this
like
is
this 8 out of 10. That
This
was
is the
tight.
Calumet Farm 10-year single rack.
No, 12.
12?
There's a 10-year, but there's a 12-year.
Oh, this doesn't have it on total. Oh, this is how the night's gonna go.
Who needs a laugh track? We should sell Dawson and Nick and Carter's Giggles to Network Studios for like new. If Big Bang Theory wasn't over, they would just eat
Well, they
this
are
right
like
up.
they're like varying. They're different types of laughs. Like
Right.
so, it works. I think if you combine them all into one single track, it would be a very good laugh track.
Yeah. Which combine what into one single track?
All of our laughs.
Oh, for sure. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
as a
simultaneous.
collection.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 What was the name of this?
Well, and
This
now,
Calumet Farm is 12-year.
yeah.
It's I spent $100 on this.
Wow.
Oh, just to add, I want to see a TV show that has a laugh track with only one person laughing in the audience. And it's like that guy at a baseball game that's just so loud and vulgar and rude, you know? Like, everyone knows that sound, that guy who's just yelling at the top of his lungs.
What?
Thanks for the Seinfeld. All right, this is an expensive whiskey. Oh wow! Right away, cherry licorice on the scent. Ooh, wow.
Wow,
Love
that is
that
cherry
smell.
licorice right off the nose. That's crazy.
I already have a formed opinion about this.
Give it to us. I
You
want to
think
hear
you
it.
hate it.
I want to hear your
Okay.
opinion.
I bet he
I
hates
already
it.
know my opinion.
This doesn't. Maybe it's because we've been going up in proof, but this tastes like a lower proof than the other ones. Not
I think that's
lacks
why
complexity in the flavor, but I still get the if there was an amber taste, that's like what this tastes like.
Oh.
Amber is a subtle color. It's a subtle flavor.
It tastes like orange, but the color.
No,
Huh? Oh.
amber is slightly more red.
I think of like this light.
And slightly
Right now
more
we're sitting beneath a dimmed lantern or a dimmed chandelier. That's
Pants
amber.
off. The whole night ahead of us.
All the windows closed.
Who knows what's gonna happen? It's like 85. Oh,
Junior walked in.
Junior.
Yeah, this
She did
I don't want to go there.
yeah, this smells. It smells better than it tastes. I wouldn't spend $100 on this. I'd say this is like a $50 to $60 bourbon.
I don't like this.
You don't like it.
I don't like it.
So what is disliking? What's
It's not complicated enough.
Sure.
There's not
because
any,
of the price, or
there's not any dominant notes.
right?
Well,
no,
you also
I
gotta
see
remember,
that.
whiskey is not based off of the quality; it is based off the rarity.
I want.
Right, and that's why I bought it.
I wish
'cause
this
it was
wasn't a
like
podcast just for this moment, so people could have a video of him saying that, because his eyes are like.
You guys should start doing this in a video
We
format.
could.
We could, but that'd be
What are my
Patreon.
eyes doing?
That's
I
Patreon
can't see my
only.
own eyes right
They
now.
have to
I
pay
don't
for
know what
that.
I look like.
It was the combination of the glazed eyes plus the
Hand
hand
gestures.
movements. So
You know
good.
how like guys from the 50s, their in shape was like lots of core and not a lot of pecs. I think it'd be in good shape for the 50s.
Can we get to part 2? Find out in part 2. Apparently.
I definitely just like destroyed that
so
audio.
yeah.
Okay, now I got to add into this weirdness, but you and I have like the same weird chest hair, where it's longer on one side.
Like on the left.
It
I
goes
swing
more.
left. I swing left.
Like you have a little bit more than I do,
Yeah, I
but like
swing left.
it's more
It's
this.
because he lays on that side when
Well,
you
it's
sleep.
like
Yeah.
Creeping Charlie that was planted on the left side and slowly making.
Or
its
is it
way
because
in.
you lay on the other side and it grows towards the
It
sun?
grows towards
Yeah.
the side that's not laid on.
Yeah.
Dude, I lay on whatever side I feel.
Sure. Are you a side sleeper or
Actually, I am a back sleeper in training.
in training?
I have slowly but progressively been sleeping more and more on my back.
Well, what position do you wake up in?
Fetal?
Yeah. No, I mean honestly, I wake up on my side every time.
Fetal?
Every time.
Honestly, I haven't thought about that. I think I wake up on my side.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think I do.
I've never woken up like looking at the ceiling.
I'm just
I've
happy
always
when I
like
wake
I've
up.
always
First thing
woken
I
up
do when
like
I wake
eyes
up-
into my pillow.
I realize I'm on my side. I put my pants back on. And then what?
Hey, Dad, I go home.
We'll cut that out. I'm too. Yeah, I'm going too far with my
Bye.
stupid jokes.
No.
We don't buy, unfortunately.
For $100, I don't think so.
So then we got a next one.
I like that Nick actually, he's like, I don't think I'd spend $100 on this. When he's like, I definitely wouldn't spend $26 on that Maker's Mark.
Nah, screw Maker's Mark.
It has to be a cork.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. All right,
No, it's gotta be a screw top.
Speaking of corks,
that was screw top.
So that's the only thing going for Maker's Mark right
This
now.
is screw top.
Screw top.
Okay. All right. So cork pop.
It's quiet.
nice deep. It was quiet, but it was deep.
So this is Old Forester Statesman,
Did we have? This was another one, right? That we had on this.
distilled exclusively for Statesman. Now I thought we had the 1910.
You're right. That's what it was. You're right.
This one's
So-
$50.
50. Okay. And what was the proof on this again?
47.5.
Okay.
We jumped 0.5.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we're
just-
sitting in a room, quite messy. Every time I look at a different section of the wall, I thought memories flood into my brain. Like I see the stack of Xbox 360 games on the windowsill. I'm like, man, it's been a long time since I played any of those.
When I look at the Mickey Mantle poster, goes back to that game and 50. How old
Wow.
is Mickey Mantle?
And then I look at
Dead.
What? I mean, when did he play? Zach, could you turn around and see some of those dates on that scorecard?
Why do you have a Mickey Mantle
Well,
poster?
it's the Hall of Fame from 1974.
Why
but
do we have
I don't
art?
know.
Did he play in the 50s?
Probably
He
not.
probably
I don't think
did.
someone. Who is? I guess who has the longest?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
What are you talking
The
about?
longest win streak?
No, just career.
Longest
Career in baseball.
Oh.
Longest career.
Professional career.
It's
Kirby Puckett.
Paul Molitor.
Dick Trickle.
Just throwing
Dick
Dick
Trickle.
Trickle.
Ha Clinton Dix,
Ha.
the football player.
Yeah, so normally for Old Foresters, I haven't been like a huge fan. I only
Which ones have you tried?
just the 1910 and the one didn't we have one before?
No.
No?
No.
I guess just the
Not
1910
today.
then. I didn't like the 1910, I guess is
You didn't
what
like
I'm
the
saying.
next, so that was a finished one. That was finished
Yeah,
in a
and-
heavily toasted
Yeah.
barrel. This is the Statesman. This was made for the Kingsman 2 Statesman movie.
The Golden Circle. Yeah.
This is what Statesman is.
Yep.
So Old Forester came out with this release. I got this bottle for $25 because it was mislabeled as just a regular
Old Forester.
Old Forester.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
how much is it normally?
50. How much was it, Kerr?
50.
Yeah, 50.
Suckers.
Yes, the fruitiness on the nose, same. I wouldn't say this one isn't. It's kind of cherry, but I'd say it's actually more. I should say it's more apple than cherry, in my opinion. I don't know. I get that. It's more pungent, little sour smelling.
Tastes like a
I get-
Granny Smith.
I get less flavor notes. I should say I'm able to give less flavor notes. I feel like on bourbons and scotches, but that's just me.
Well, I think that's because, sorry, when you have, I think there's three distinct flavors that lots of bourbons have. They have floral, fruity, and sweet. Those are all in the sweet category, right?
Well, I mean, you also
And
get
so the
wood and bitterness. Bitterness.
You know, those are in addition, right? But you can pick apart the wood, the bitterness, and then when it comes to the sweetness,
Right.
that's a hard one to pick apart.
Okay.
And I think, maybe the triage is very difficult to discern in the mouth. Because I agree with you. I could like a Scotch has such opposing flavors.
You can pick it apart.
Yeah, you can pick it apart. It's physically activating different parts of your tongue. That's something I'm trying to look for.
Because this one's kind of hitting more the back of my tongue. I feel like I'm getting more of like a spice note off of this one.
Sure.
It's got a nice nutty aftertaste.
It does
I
have
like
that.
it. It's good.
Like how it. This is the worst way to put it, but a creamy nut. Absolute worst way to say it, but yeah, I have an aftertaste of a creamy nut.
I gotta decide what I'm taking in.
Is it as bad as saying no pun intended before you make a pun?
It makes it worse.
Is that a
It
pun?
makes-
Yeah, that's
all
what I
that
mean.
does is draw attention to your
Do the pun.
But usually you say it after you say a pun. But if
Right.
you say it
No
before, that means it was fully intended because
Yeah.
you knew
Yeah.
you were making a pun.
Yes.
Yep. Zach is guilty.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one. Bye.
This is a buy. I really like this one.
I mean, if I could find it.
I did not like the Old Forester 1910. I really like this one.
I just had a sip of water,
Okay, we're moving this.
and I got
We're doing this.
I got
don't want to end on that last one.
hit with a large flavor of like cherry licorice.
Cherry bomb.
Chia pet.
Chia pet.
I just spilled ketchup
So
all over my
disappointed in
crotch.
myself. I can't remember how the song goes.
See what it is?
Say what
I'll say. All right, we
Oh,
got the
it goes,
Knob Creek regular standard 100 proof small. I should say sorry. It's a small batch. Yeah, so 50% alcohol. This is classic. I think everyone needs to have this. This is so good. It's nothing. It's not super complex, but
Where's your glass?
Calm yourself, boy.
like if you had to like tell someone like, hey, you would like bourbon, it's because you're thinking of Knob Creek. Because these are the flavors you get. This is what you're thinking.
Is it?
To me, for sure. I don't know. This has this. I'm a drinker right now and tell you every flavor I get, and I bet if I just typed in bourbon, the adjectives would be this. All right, hold on.
Brown sugar, wood, sweet, caramel, cherry.
Bourbon.
Yep.
I just described every bourbon
Every
ever.
bourbon ever. No, I'd say more sweet, more brown sugar, less caramel.
This
What's the
this is
scent?
where I essentially this is the bourbon or my whiskey journey started for me.
Yeah.
Was Knob Creek.
Knob Creek.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
I've seen
Everyone
Knob Creek.
I think
Everyone has Knob
Nick
Creek.
and I know Knob
Every
Creek.
time I go
Yeah.
over to someone's house,
They got Knob
they
Creek.
have a bottle of Knob Creek.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's like $35.
Yeah.
50% alcohol.
Yep. It's cheap,
tastes
quality
good.
bourbon.
This is like the best thing you could put in a cocktail if you wanted to get the bourbon flavor forward. You know, this is I should say there are better ones, but I don't know, for the budget, for the money, this is a good one.
It's got I think this
This is
has
like-
more of a woody characteristic than the other whiskeys so far.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like initially it's sweet, and then it kind of develops into more of a woody like aftertaste as it hits the back of your tongue.
Right. I think the Elijah Craig and Eagle Rare and maybe the Buffalo Trace is on top for me. But so I like this one.
I'd say
We're buying this one, right? I mean that's
this is
100%.
easy buy.
that's-
How much
that-
is it?
It's a staple.
It's $35.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. Now it's 9 years old now because they brought the age statement back. Whereas before they removed it because of product not being
Availability,
that old.
production. All right, so we're
a good
13
one.
13 bourbons in now. Should we conclude this as the part 1? It's a good spot.
Depends on your
Yeah.
guys' length of podcast.
Tell us
How
to
you
take a
doing
break.
it.
All right, everyone.
While-
Thank you for listening. But I think this is time for us at least to take a break, and maybe you should too. Maybe you're doing something that maybe needs more attention or focus. So go back to doing that.
An hour and a half, and that's gonna be the break. Is after an hour.
Maybe you're trying to raise a child. Maybe you should pay
Yeah.
attention to said child. Take a
Are you
notice.
just doing
What
what's
are
left
their
on the
hobbies?
We're finishing what's on the table.
All right, thank you.
Zach needs to take a massive
How do I
dump.
pause
Yeah.
this?
Just press
Exactly.
So
the
honestly,
square.
like